There's a lot more reasons to be pessimistic than optimistic in this day and age, especially with regards to the economy, to geopolitical threats that are manifested themselves, seems like on a weekly basis, if not more. And we also have our own personal economic situation, and what kind of faith are we going to have in our money? The dollar, we're seeing inflation rear its ugly head, and the faith in the dollar is waning around the world. That's putting a real strain. But what is something we can trust, and what is something we can be optimistic about, and that is protecting ourselves with gold and silver. We'll get into why the future is bright for gold and silver as we explore. Gold and silver have a history, unlike any other commodity out there on the periodic table. They have proven themselves time and time again. Most of us in this community understand that and know it. This is why we hold it. We hold it as a way to protect ourselves. It is a wealth preservation device, gold and silver are. And we've also seen them be utilized and transacted throughout history as money. In fact, for most of history, we have seen especially silver be utilized for transactions. We live in a digital age, there's no question about it. But there are recent reports and surveys that found that, believe it or not, young people are moving back to the idea of using cash, a physical asset that's untrackable, at least in its current form. Some people say, well, the serial numbers on the bills that you use is some tracking mechanism. Yeah, but the Fed is not really tracking that. At least they're not right now. The Federal Reserve is about to implement something called the FedNow service. And that is going to be the backbone, the rails of the central bank digital currency train that is coming in due course. It's going to take legislation in order for it to be enacted in the United States here, but China already has it in a form, a central bank digital currency. But China is very well versed in their culture with gold especially, but silver has proven itself time and time again throughout history as a metal that has been a store of wealth, a store of value. And that value proposition is something that will not go away, because silver and gold being transacted as money is something that could happen again. In fact, we have seen that in recent weeks and months here, and even the last couple of years, with something known as the goldback. It's a way to be able to actually transact as money. And that is an exciting proposition. It's something that is very much in its infantile stages. It's not there yet to being widely accepted, but gold and silver being transacted as money is one area where I think the future is bright for gold and silver. We aren't using gold and silver every day to purchase goods and services, so likely we are engaging in business where we need to present our personal information, which is then sold to data brokers who profit by selling your information to robocallers, telemarketers, spammers, and anyone else that wants to learn more about you. That's why I'm excited to tell you about today's sponsor, Aura. Aura will identify data brokers that are exposing your information and automatically submit opt-out requests on your behalf. They'll even opt you out of junk mail and telemarketing lists. You can use my link at aura.com/salivate-metal to try 2 weeks to see how many data brokers are sharing your information, which is also linked in my description, or you can scan the QR code on your screen. Aura also monitors your emails and passwords to see if they were involved in a data breach and exposed on the dark web, and gives you recommendations on what to do. Aura's app also features a VPN, password manager, real-time credit and identity theft monitoring, internet parental controls, and protects your devices from malware. Aura has almost every internet safety tool you'll ever need, all inside of one app. Safety and security are the reasons why we stack precious metals. So limit your exposure to these data brokers and go to aura.com/salivate metal or scan the QR code now to start your free trial. Gold and silver, being that store of value, is the cornerstone of why the future is bright for it. You know, gold and silver, they don't care about political agendas. They don't care about cultural revolutions. They really don't care about equality among men or what have you, because in a sense, what does gold and silver do? They essentially separate the wheat from the chaff. They are stores of value. They are something that has been sought after for thousands of years and will continue to be sought after. I think that's one of the special things about gold and silver, especially when we see central banks around the world accumulate it and store it. Why? To protect themselves against the insanity that we are seeing today with currency devaluations, with political uncertainty between nations. That's geopolitics. And we know that they're trying to counter the dollar's hegemony that has been pretty much in effect in global dominance since Henry Kissinger set us up with what's known as the petrodollar. The petrodollar is fading, and the dominance of the empire of the United States and the dollar is starting to pull back. But you know, gold and silver, and even here in the United States, you know, we have not been accumulating more gold, but if you believe what they say, we have the most gold by any other nation around the world. To essentially, many people feel that that is an indirect backing of the dollar's dominance. You know, people say, well, it's the military and the might of the military that backs the dollar, and that's true to a degree, to a very large degree. It shan't be ignored, that's for sure. But gold, especially in our reserves in Fort Knox and in New York at the Federal Reserve, having them in our coffers means that we got something to back whatever we have up with the dollar. That's why I think, in a way, we can kick the can down the road with this debt ceiling crisis that is now over. But it's not over in terms of the threat that is posed with the debt to GDP ratio that is at wartime highs right now. It's not over in terms of inflation and in terms of the dollar's dominance waning around the world. But that's why gold is at play, and silver, recognized again as a metal that very well, what I refer to as dormant money, certainly recognized as commodity money. And these metals will continue to project themselves on the world stage as being stores of value that transcends culture, time, and space. That's why the future is bright for gold and silver, not because of what they will be, but because of what they are and what they have been for thousands of years. Stores of value, wealth preservation devices, both gold and silver. And so with that being said, having them in your portfolio, I think, is a wise move. You know, they say not to put all of your eggs in one basket. Well, I'm just thankful that gold and silver aren't so delicate as eggs that can just crack at any moment. Because when that basket tips over, your eggs are going to become a big mess of shells and yolks and whites all over the place, essentially worth nothing. But gold and silver, they fall out of the basket. They're going to continue to be strong stores of value no matter what, because of their physical properties. Now, I use that analogy there to say that even if you put all of your gold and silver in one basket, you really can't go wrong in the long run, in the very long run. Do I encourage you to put all of your gold and silver in one basket? Heck no. Diversify. Make some of your currency that is now devalued at a rate of almost 5% year over year. That's inflation. Make it work for you. You know, have some of this on hand in case of emergencies, in case of bank failures. Have some of it in a money market or an I-bond or something to kind of grow for you to keep up with inflation. Have some in investments, you know, in the stock market if that's your thing. diversify within precious metals, and diversify within your other asset classes out there and investment devices. Retirements out there. You want to make your money grow. You want to be able to profit. That's what investing is all about. But gold and silver, I don't see as an investment, and they should not be viewed as investments in the financial sense. In the personal sense, yes, as a way to protect yourself against economic instability. They do not pay dividends other than their beauty that you can appreciate and adore. But nonetheless, you aren't going to make money on gold and silver. It's not about getting rich off of gold and silver. It's about the gold and silver that you have in your portfolio that make you rich by the definition, by the intrinsic value, the historic value that has lasted for thousands of years. So there you have it. This is why I hold gold and silver, for their beauty and for their store of wealth, the store of value, of purchasing, protecting, and purchasing power for generations, for hundreds of years, for thousands of years, generations, epochs, and the time and its timeless nature will go on and on. So I hope you found this video informative, educational, and inspirational. I would like to extend a multitude of gratitude to each and every one of you for taking the time to watch, and to encourage you to please rate, share, comment, and subscribe.